before Zeus, before Olympus, before any god you've ever heard of. There was a race of beings who ruled the universe for 10,000 years. They didn't worship gods, they were worshipped. And the world they built had no war, no death, no suffering. The Greeks had a name for it, the Golden Age. So how do you go from ruling paradise to being buried alive, conscious, at the bottom of a pit so deep a falling rock takes 9 full days to hit the floor? That is the Titan story, and nobody tells it from their side. Before the Titans, there was chaos. Not chaos like disorder, chaos like a void, a nothing that had no edges and no flaw, a darkness that somehow became aware of itself. From that void came Gaia, the earth, and from beside her came Ouranos, the sky. Together they became the first parents. Their children were 12, 6 sons, 6 daughters. These were the Titans: Oceanus, the river that ringed the whole world; Hyperion, light itself before the sun had a name; Coeus, the intelligence that held the cosmos in order; Iapetus, father of Prometheus, the Titan who would one day betray his own kind to save the human race; Crius, and the youngest, Cronus. The daughters: Rhea, mother of gods; Themis, divine law, the principle that kept reality coherent; Mnemosyne, memory itself. Every thought ever remembered exists because of her; Phoebe, Tethys, Thea, radiance, the reason gold and silver shine. These were not gods who controlled elements. Each Titan was an element. They were reality's first architecture, and their father, Ouranos, was terrified of what he had made. Ouranos didn't just fear the Titans, he despised them. He had other children too, the Cyclopes and the Hecatoncheires, beings of such unnatural power that he could not look at them without rage. So he did what only a monster does. He pushed them back inside Gaia, back into the earth, imprisoned inside their own mother's body, conscious and in agony. Gaia screamed. She begged him to stop. He didn't. So she went to her children with a single question: who among you will do what needs to be done? 11 said nothing. Cronus stepped forward. Gaia had already made the weapon, an adamantine sickle, grey flint, harder than any metal, forged from her own grief. She gave it to her youngest son and told him exactly what to do. That night, when Ouranos came to Gaia in the dark, Cronus was waiting, and with his mother's sickle, he castrated his own father and threw the severed flesh into the sea. From the blood that hit the earth rose the Erinyes, the Furies, the first agents of divine punishment. From the foam where the flesh struck water rose Aphrodite, goddess of love, born from an act of violence. And Ouranos, bleeding and broken, cursed his son with his last breath. What you did to me, your own children will do to you. Cronus laughed and took the throne of the universe. For a time, the Titans ruled. And here is what nobody ever tells you about that period. It wasn't dark, it wasn't cruel. The ancient Greeks called it the Golden Age. Cronus ruled alongside Rhea. Humans lived without labor. The earth gave freely. There was no war, no hierarchy, no death. The Titans did not rule over the world. They were the world, in perfect balance. So what shattered it? One word, spoken by a dying father in the dark: your children will do to you what you did to me. Cronus became a different being after that prophecy entered him. He didn't forget it. He couldn't, because the Titans were made of memory, and some words once heard cannot be unheard. When Rhea gave birth to their first child, Cronus did not hold the baby and see his heir. He saw his replacement. He saw the prophecy arriving in swaddling cloth. So he swallowed the child whole. Hestia, goddess of the hearth, disappeared down her father's throat. Then Demeter, then Hera, then Hades, then Poseidon. 5 children, 5 gods of Olympus, all imprisoned inside their father's stomach, conscious, growing, waiting in the dark for a decade. Rhea watched it happen 5 times, and after the 5th time, she made the same choice Gaia had made a generation before her. she went to her mother for help, and Gaia told her exactly what to do. When the sixth child was born, Rhea did not bring Cronus a baby. She wrapped a stone in cloth, the same size, the same weight, and placed it in his hands. Cronus swallowed it without looking. The real child was carried to the island of Crete, hidden in a cave on Mount Ida, raised by nymphs, fed on honey. His cries covered by warriors who clashed their shields outside the cave so Cronus would not hear him through the earth. That child was Zeus. When Zeus was grown, he didn't come with an army. He came with a plan. He approached Cronus as a cupbearer and fed him wine mixed with an emetic herb. Cronus vomited, and out came 5 gods: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. Fully grown, fully conscious, 10 years of imprisonment burning inside them like a fire that had been waiting for oxygen. Then Zeus did something no one expected. He went to Tartarus, the deepest pit beneath the underworld, and freed the prisoners Ouranos had buried, the Cyclopes, the Hecatoncheires, the monsters everyone had tried to forget. The Cyclopes, in gratitude, forged gifts. They gave Zeus his thunderbolts. They gave Poseidon his trident. They gave Hades his helmet of invisibility. Then the war began, the Titanomachy. 10 years of fighting so catastrophic that the Greeks believed the universe itself was cracking, the sea surging past its limits, the earth splitting, Tartarus shaking from the impacts above. Here is the detail that changes the entire story. Not all Titans fought against Zeus. Prometheus and his brother Prometheus sided with Olympus. Themis, Titan of divine law, sided with Zeus. Oceanus stayed neutral, refusing to take either side. Prometheus didn't choose Zeus out of loyalty. He chose Zeus because he was the Titan of forethought. He looked at the battlefield and calculated who would win. He literally saw the future and picked the winning side. The betrayal was logical, not emotional. The Hecatoncheires turned the tide. Each had 50 heads and 100 arms. They grabbed boulders by the hundreds, 300 stones launched simultaneously, and buried the Titan forces under an avalanche of rock. The war ended, the Titans fell, and Zeus sat on a throne built from their defeat. The defeated Titans were cast into Tartarus, not killed, imprisoned. A bronze fence surrounded the pit. The Hecatoncheires, the very beings they had once helped oppress, were appointed as their jailers. The irony was not accidental. A bronze anvil dropped from the surface of the earth would fall for 9 full days and 9 full nights before hitting the floor. The Titans were conscious at the bottom of that, but not every Titan received the same sentence. Atlas, who had commanded the Titan armies in battle, received something worse than imprisonment. He was made to stand at the edge of the Western world and hold the sky on his shoulders. Not the earth, the sky, separating the heavens from the earth for eternity. Alone, immovable, fully aware of every moment passing. The cruelty was architectural. Zeus could have killed him. Instead, he made him a monument, a permanent, visible reminder of what happened to those who opposed Olympus. Every god who looked toward the west saw Atlas. Every human who looked up understood without being told. This is what defiance costs. And Prometheus, who had helped Zeus, who had given fire to humanity, who had chosen the winning side, received the worst punishment of all. But that is a story that deserves its own video. The Titans didn't fall because they were evil. They fell because something more powerful arrived and wrote the history. The golden age they built, that era without war, without death, without hierarchy, ended the moment Cronus chose fear over trust. And Zeus, the liberator, the god who freed his siblings, became in one generation exactly what Cronus was: paranoid, consuming, punishing anyone who might replace him. So here is what I want you to tell me. Were the Titans monsters? Or were they the first gods who simply lost? Drop your answer below. And if you think what Zeus did to Prometheus was justified or crossed a line, let me know. Because that story is coming next, and it is worse than this one.